What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Universal Bros Unplugged podcast, where we talk about everything Universal. Today's episode 22, and we're talking about a pretty, I wouldn't say classic franchise, but pretty well known. Maybe, I don't know. I wouldn't say a cult classic, not for us at least.
No, I wouldn't say yet. I would consider it a popular contemporary series
That's actually
or franchise,
that's a better way
whatever
of
you want to
phrasing
call it.
We're talking about the Purge, all the Purge. We're talking Anarchy, Election Year, and what was the one?
Well, you have the
Most
first
recent one.
Purge. You have the first Purge film,
Correct.
then the first year of the Purge, and
Uh-huh.
then the Forever Purge, which is the
Right.
latest installment.
Correct. That being said, let's get into the intro.
And we're back.
Alrighty. So, let's get into City Walk talk. What's going on in City Walk? So, I'll be honest with you. We've got one little smidge bit of City Walk news, and that has to do with. It's funny because if I'm technically referencing back to episode 2,
Yes.
Josh's 50th anniversary. Go check that one out. Where I did announce that the main Starbucks location was closed in City Walk.
Insert booze here.
And it was closed. It got closed for renovations, and it's officially open, boys. We've made it to episode 22. It only took 20 episodes for them to fix it. So,
How many weeks is that? 10 weeks.
yes.
10 weeks, 2 episodes a week.
Correct.
10 weeks.
Correct.
I am not known for my math skills, so if I'm off, please feel free to comment.
How much did you say?
2 episodes a week, 20 episodes. That's 10 weeks.
Yeah. Has it really been that long already?
Could be, yeah.
Back to City Walk. Though.
Yes.
We've got some new permits that got released. It's the new talk around the Universal
Campfire.
News, correct?
Yeah.
Campfire. Lost Continent, man. We got permits. We're creating something. I don't think the permits don't state that it's going to be completely demolished.
Right.
More of a transformation.
So the theory now, based on some of the people that do a lot of the deep diving information,
Yeah.
from what I've seen,
Mm-hmm.
it seems to be a toss-up between 2 major IPs that the Lost Continent could become.
Right.
And those are, one of them, which the rumor has been for already a good minute now, Legends of Zelda. You know?
I'm gonna be honest with you. If they're gonna leave it the way it is, like the permits say, it's not gonna really match up with Zelda. You know what I mean?
The other
I
IP,
also just don't want it to be Zelda. I think they're gonna do that in Nintendo World.
we'll see.
That
We'll
was
see what the
stated by one
expansions
of the
bring.
creative directors. You know, because there's a specific part in Nintendo World where there's like it's one of the gift shops, the main gift shop.
Yes.
That it has a stained glass on the top.
Like a
with
reference.
designs, and Zelda is in that because he is part of the Nintendo
Of
World.
course. Yeah.
So,
Link
I mean,
Link is a huge part.
They are going to expand Nintendo World. It's already been said. It's in theory. There's no official permits, but I would assume they're doing that. So now we're left with a good amount of wondering what they're gonna put in Lost Continent.
The other IP that I was going to reference
Uh-huh.
is some people are saying there is a possibility it could be One Piece, the anime.
Interesting. Have you ever seen it?
Bits and pieces, as most people that know me know, I'm not huge into anime.
How many bits and pieces? One Piece? I'm sorry.
Okay.
I had to.
And
Dude.
we've fulfilled the one
The dad
palm
joke.
minimum criteria
The
for the
dad
episode. So that's good. That's good to get that out of the way, nice and early.
Yeah.
But yeah, I started watching a little bit of it.
Really?
Not really my thing,
Yeah. Right.
but huge IP. So,
yeah.
and I've seen the merchandise in the parks,
Mm.
you know, in the Men in Black gift shop, as well as some of the stands out in City Walk.
Yeah.
So, who knows? Who knows?
Well, so this next part of City Walk Talk is gonna be funny. Once again, our our favorite Universal content creator made a little post of about a closing of a certain ride.
Yes.
Did you see it? Did you see what she posted?
I understand what this is in reference to. However, I myself have not seen the post.
So, it is in reference to we've spoken about River Adventure will be closing January. I believe they updated it to the 15th, not the 5th.
Okay.
It's one of those days. If not, the original date was January 5th, but I did see that someone updated it. So we're just gonna stick to January 5th to be safe.
Okay.
Till I think November 10th.
Right.
So it's a 10-month closing of the ride. It's not permanent. It's temporary. And they're supposedly saying it's for refurbishment. What do you think?
It's
about
11
that?
months, isn't it?
10 months.
From January to November is
January
11.
to November, yeah. Because then you have the other 2 months. Well, it's roughly 10 months.
Right, a little over 10.
Correct.
Okay.
Not officially 11 months.
A lot of math in this episode. No,
Yeah.
but yeah, obviously when River Adventure closed last time,
Yeah.
it was for a shirt, like a refurbishment, where they basically redo the skins on
Right.
the dinosaurs.
Correct.
I don't know what's going to happen with 10 months' time, 10 or 11 months' time.
Yeah, because on average, the closing of the ride is no more than a couple weeks.
It seems as though maybe we might be getting a little bit of a
Jurassic
more
World.
in-depth refurbishment for the ride. I don't believe that they're going to transform it into like the one we have in Hollywood, where it's Jurassic World themed. I think they're going to bring more life into it and maybe update some of the major functions of the ride.
What if they upgrade the animatronics?
I would love that. I think that the ride needs it.
Dude, it'd be sick.
Because here's the thing, River Adventure is iconic. It is
Correct.
one of the iconic rides of Islands of
Which-
Adventure and of Jurassic Park.
Which is why I brought up this. I'm not gonna name any names, but we have referenced her content before, with the Berlin Wall one and the kind of diss toward
A lot of people
Nickelodeon.
A lot of people don't know about the Berlin Wall.
Correct. The Berlin Wall. We'll do that for the Easter eggs part. We'll get more
Absolutely.
into depth about where that is. But
Yeah.
From what I'm referencing is when she was going to show that where it is, and she looks at Nickelodeon Studios.
Right, that she wasn't aware that the whole history,
It was
which we covered.
which actually that episode did very good.
Yeah, a lot
Very,
of people
very
like.
well. To
Yeah,
this
it's
day,
nostalgic. A lot of
People
Nickelodeon
still go and
kids.
watch it. Yeah.
Absolutely.
I was honestly that one caught me off guard with how good that episode did.
Yeah, we don't really know. We we
Yeah.
put out things that we think are going to do well and that people will like.
But
and we get surprised all the time with the metrics
to be
and what people
honest,
do.
with that one, it wasn't so much. It was really just us talking off the dome about our childhood. It was nostalgic. That's what it was.
Right, nostalgia
People
always
love
does really
that.
great. Same thing with
I
the
love that
Ghostbusters episode.
That episode was great. I just wasn't sure how people were going to take it. I wasn't, honestly, I didn't think, hey, most of our audience is our age range.
Right.
So, it didn't click that, hey,
I was
this is good
excited for that
nostalgia.
episode because there's just me
Yeah.
talking about a
No,
lot
it
of
was great
things
to
that
talk about it.
I loved, when I was a kid.
But so this post that I saw her, I mean, like it. I wouldn't say like I don't hate her content. She has really, she does have very good. Some of her content is really well informative and like, it's like a props to her. But this one just rubbed me the wrong way,
Why? Is there some sort of misinformation?
No, she goes a supposed fan favorite ride. She says, I don't know who's who's calling this ride their fan favorite. If you had seen it, you would have gotten pissed. And so then she goes and she's like, it's Jurassic Park. She's like, honestly, I never go on this ride. It's quite boring. She was really kind of dumping all over the ride.
Not everyone gets it, and it's okay.
And that part I had to stop and understand and kind of reanalyze my feelings about it. It's like, same way like my opinion on certain rides. Some people are going to really like it. Some people aren't going to like it. You know what I mean?
No, and
So-
it's okay. I mean,
Understanding it's okay for other people to
not like the same things that we
exactly.
like.
It's okay. It's not the end of the
I
world.
understand, you know,
Yeah, yeah,
and there's no beef about it, you know.
Yeah.
If clearly you're a fan of the Jimmy Fallon ride. No,
Is she?
no, I don't know. It's it's all in good fun. At the end of the day, all of this is subjective, and we all get to just talk
Exactly.
about the things that we love. The fact that we all love Universal should unite us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because we could be Disney fans. No, I'm just kidding. That's a joke.
I knew you were gonna make that joke.
Oh, come
So this is
on.
gonna right here, guys. If you're watching this, it's on Instagram. I'm making this real for all our Disney people. In our first episode, we have Disney. It was a joke. It's all fun and jokes. We have been to Disney 100 times as kids, and we still like it to this day. It's just not as much as we love Universal. That's it. It's no diss. So if you see our first episode, if you're new to the channel and you see this clip right here, and the first introduction was us dumping over all over Disney, it's not like
it was a joke.
It's a joke. So don't take it to heart. Check out the rest of our
it's not that serious. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
All right. So that being said, that I had to make that a reel, dude. We had to get it done.
Oh, yeah, it was just a bit. No, I'm kidding. Can we get copyright strike for doing voices?
We've talked about that in prior episodes. I don't think so.
No, I don't think so. If not, the Yoda impression would have definitely gotten us.
Yeah.
But what can you do?
So that's going to wrap up this episode of City Walk Talk. Probably,
good stuff.
So far, probably the longest.
Informative and a little bit of PR. That's public relations. So, The Purge.
The Purge.
Yeah.
Let's get into it.
So.
Okay, so let's kick this off by... What are your favorite ones? Because I have my favorites.
Right. So the first one, when it came out, got a lot of mixed reactions because people were expecting to see what we would see actually in later films, which is, actual stuff that's going on in the streets and everything. The majority of the story takes place like in the insurance salesman's house, and his family and everything that goes on with that. The first one grew on me because the story is good. Right, it's a story within everything that's going on of the concept of it. Yeah. As far as entertainment and the best ones of the franchise, for me, it's a toss-up between Anarchy and Election Year. Those are the two. I think they have a good amount of story and a good amount of like action and getting to see all the crazy stuff that ensues within the world of the Purge.
Yeah, no, I would agree. I would say that like my top one that like I've actually rewatched it a couple times is Anarchy.
Right.
That's my favorite one.
Yeah.
I think I could definitely watch that whenever. If it's on TV, I'll stop and watch it.
Yeah.
Election Year is pretty good, although it has some boring parts.
Right. I like the story mainly of Election Year. I think the whole thing, with the politician and they're trying to protect her, and we have the guy from the previous film.
Yeah, there's more depth.
Security.
There's definitely more depth.
There's a lot more going on story-wise that moves forward the franchise a bit.
Yeah. Anarchy is Anarchy's chaos.
Yeah,
it's chaos throughout the whole movie.
No, but there's a really good storyline to it about the rebellion that forms and people, revolting against the idea of the Purge.
I like the guy. His story.
Essentially he's on a mission for vengeance or revenge.
Yeah.
And ends up actually helping these folks out,
Well, yeah, he helps them, and then I like how at the end he doesn't kill the guy.
It's out of necessity.
And then that same guy that he wanted to kill, ends up saving his life.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And then today I watched for the first time, Ever After.
The Forever Purge.
Forever Purge.
Yeah. Like I said, it's my least favorite out of all of them.
It's just, I don't know, man. Honestly,
it doesn't really go anywhere.
Yeah, if I'm being honest with you, it is so weird because it felt so long yet so short.
Yeah.
You know what
Very
I mean?
little happens.
Yeah.
Story-wise.
Yeah. It was like all the other purges. There's a good amount of content to absorb. This one, it was just so basic.
Do you feel, and given that this is
the
last
dry.
one,
it was dry.
I feel like this one is what the first film in the franchise should have been.
Yeah. Exactly.
You know what I mean? Because the reason the first one got kind of a mixed reaction is because people were expecting one thing. So they introduced the concept. You know, we see the trailers and everything come out and all the promo material about like it's a crime spree for 12 hours, undeterred, free range, you know, just chaos, and evil ensues.
Right.
But then the entirety of the movie takes place within a house.
Yeah.
So
I think. I guess they had to make it like content film, but I feel like if there was, if you were to do a first movie and make it like hyper realistic of what would actually happen, I think you'd have a boring ass movie.
Really?
Yeah, I really do. I think the movie would be super boring because the first day, the first time that a purge happens, I don't think that you would have a lot of people. I think people would be more scared, and then the next year comes, and people would slowly start.
Well, that's a concept that more or less happens in the movie The First Purge, where they show you, you know, they expand a little more on the politics of it within that world of that, you know, fictitious United States where it passes through Congress and everything, and they decide to enact it, and there's a doctor that's running it like as a social experiment, and a politician who's also running the other side of it, you know, as a tool.
Right, they do it on like a city, right?
Right. So essentially, the first year, they have everyone film it with these high-tech contact lenses that are recording in real time and giving live feed and footage of what's going on, of everyone that participates in the experiment.
Right.
Everyone just parties without any consequence to begin with. And then you have a couple, you know, hostile people that take advantage of the situation and do essentially what the purge was meant for. But ultimately, it's considered. So this is the plot of the story. It's kind of a failure for what they actually want the purge to be, which is to thin out the middle class. That's the whole point of the purge, is to create more of a separation between the top and the bottom of the United States. So the politicians
Would it be the middle class? I don't think it'd be the middle class.
Yes, because it's the majority of people that can't afford high-end protection.
I mean, you can't afford high-end protection, but you'd think that you're only thinning out the poor people.
Well, here's the thing. It's the impoverished and the middle class.
Right.
So we're thinning out the majority of the United States so that there's more elites versus normal people.
Right.
So that's how the purge works. And then obviously in the other movies we see how that sort of thing pans out, because now insurance companies come into the play. People have to buy purge insurance. You know what I mean? Which, funny enough, the very first film, Ethan Hawke, the actor that plays the father, is an insurance salesman that sells purge insurance.
Right.
And obviously he's, you know, safe because he has like the best plan because he sells insurance.
Correct.
But, you know, everything goes topsy-turvy due to decisions that are made, which we see consistently in the whole franchise. People will be like safe one minute, and then they decide to like unlock their door, and then, you know what I mean, like, what did you expect? You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean,
that's kind of the opposite of what you're supposed to do.
Poor decisions have to be made for the movie to be entertaining.
Exactly. So, yeah, it's the first year, and then funny enough, so they decided to like scrap the whole thing and just send in a bunch of like military death squads to go in and start murdering people, and then the politician has the doctor killed. These movies came out a minute ago, so here we're gonna put Saul, spoiler alert, of just, you know, me ruining films if you haven't seen them.
Right.
So yeah, essentially the first year of The Purge, that film, is that.
Yes. Yeah.
I agree. I think, funny enough, I think it's panned out better physically at like Halloween Horror Nights when they've
yeah, but other than the people running
incorporated
around in the streets, I don't understand how that would be a good house.
Well,
I don't think
they did
it
in 2015.
House. Yeah, but it's probably boring.
It's just a series of people getting murdered, and like people committing acts of violence against each other. You know what I mean? I've seen the walkthrough of the house. Not bad. There have been worse houses. But if I had known what it looked like, I probably would not have prioritized it in my night during HHN. I think that it functions better as a scare zone.
Right. That's what I would do.
Right. You know what I mean? Like I would say, like the Hordes of the Walking Dead, how we're like just tremendous.
Yeah.
Fantastic scare zones. The Purge seems to lend itself concept-wise, to be a really great scare zone with just, destroyed vehicles, chaos, people running around, some people asking for help, others, pursuing others, and masked men, some with guns, some with melee weapons, that sort of thing. A very, very chaotic scene. That sounds like an excellent scare zone.
If they did that at Universal, they could get people like on.
I think they did do scare zones with The Purge.
They should bring it back for next year.
We'll see.
You could put like you could put like some guys on.
Most of them are not a major success.
1 or 2 dirt bikes with no chain. Just
vehicles are a little bit difficult with park goers because you have people in the way constantly. You don't want anyone to get hurt.
No, it's a dirt bike that doesn't move. It's immobile.
Oh, just to make like the sound effect.
Yeah, you just have it there.
That's not bad.
You know what I mean? The guys mounted on it, and they're just the characters. They don't move from there.
Yeah.
Yeah. When people walk by, you know what I mean?
Yeah. No,
and then you have people who are standing around. And, I don't know. I guess they could get like a broken down car.
Yeah, you can get like a bus that cuts off the traffic kind of on purpose.
And
with like
you got people standing on top of it.
Yeah.
It'd be sick.
That'd be pretty cool.
Universal Creative, hit us up. We got ideas. We got ideas, man.
Let us cook, man.
Yeah,
let us cook.
It'd be great.
No, but the people that work at Universal Creative, especially for Horror Nights, like, there's a reason they're really good at what they do.
Yeah.
Their way of envisioning the things that they come out with are like really, really cool. Like when they do the short documentaries, and we get a little bit of a behind the scenes of like how they make stuff and the production behind it. When the actual creators explain and talk about what their visions look like and, how they imagine things and the way they structure them, I mean, there's a reason they're the head of the heads. You know what I mean? Yeah. They're really good at what they do.
I have a bone to pick with whoever authorized the Mel's dying zombies, but...
I like them.
You're the only person that likes them.
I like them. I think they look like great old school zombies that are kind of goofy looking. Which is what they're meant to be.
If you were going for goofy, then sure, you hit it. You hit the nail. You
like
the zombie from...
you ever seen really early depictions of zombies?
You ever seen Wreck-It Ralph?
Yes.
Okay, the zombie guy?
Okay.
That's what it reminds me of.
Okay.
Like that.
I like them. I think they're cool. The merch is great. They look good. They act...
Their merch is great.
Fun, Yeah. It's not for everyone. I like them. I think they're doing a great job.
For everyone. I think they're doing a great job.
Yeah.
I just don't think their makeup is eating, like the girls say. Like modern girls say, their makeup is not eating. Sorry. Anyways.
Yeah, I don't know what that was. Okay, so I don't know. Would you say that they should make another one?
Yeah, but in what time would you make it?
I don't know. I feel like
you're kind of stuck.
I kind of think too many exist.
Yeah, I think they've ruined the chances of making a really good one.
I think that this last one, the Forever Purge, was...
No, that one, it was terrible.
It was really bad.
It was long but short.
Also, you know what I mean? It kind of was rehashing a lot of like the smaller bits of like from previous movies. It just, it's like a complete rehashing. You know what I mean? There's no real story. We're just trying to see these people escape. Yeah. I'm not invested emotionally in these characters at all.
Yeah.
They try to build sympathy very early on and try to hope that carries through the rest of the film.
Yeah, no.
And it doesn't work like that. Like,
it doesn't.
I haven't seen anyone... It's sort of like a hyper version of like hatred and politics. You know what I mean? In this last one, that it seems it comes off goofy. Like the concept of like people just don't stop purging because it's like, they don't want certain people with it seems a bit much for me. The other ones were strictly about committing crime.
Right. This one, it was
more social politics than anything else.
No, it was literal ethnic cleansing. That's what it was.
I was like, all the other movies are about
crime,
people wanting to commit acts of evil.
Theft,
that's what's interesting about it.
Theft, murder.
Right.
You know,
people with loot, rob,
exactly,
revenge killings. You know what I
Correct.
mean? That's the stuff that made it interesting.
Right. That's what
You know? And now they shifted it.
Ethnic cleansing.
It started off
Yeah.
crime based and more morality and making decisions, which was interesting about the first film because it doesn't get enough praise, in my opinion, out of the entire franchise. It has the biggest amount of like character decision making as to what's the right thing. Like, how do I not condemn myself as a person while still doing what I need to do in order to get through this? You know what I mean? And the other films, they start to lose that. We get a little more chaos. We get more politics, and now we're getting into just like a cheaper version of what the franchise started as, with like, again, like you said, this like an over amount of politics, over amount of like ethnic hatred and cleansing. And I was like, this doesn't even feel like a Purge movie. This feels like a, you know what it feels like a sci-fi original.
Exactly. Dude, yes.
It feels like
that quality.
Like a knockoff. We were able to use the name because we couldn't get sued in court.
Exactly. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to do a Deadpool reference. It's just lazy writing.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's really seriously bad. And it doesn't, and again, it shows it doesn't matter how much money you put into the way a movie looks. You can't, budget does not equal success.
No,
directly. You know what I mean?
What was the budget for that movie?
Who cares? It was an absolute failure.
It's just, I mean, you know what I mean?
Also seems like a lot of convenient things. It's just like, oh, they have nowhere to go because people won't stop purging. How convenient. They live in Texas, and Mexico will open up its border to the Americans that want to escape. Same thing for the people in the north, because then we're going to say people create a plot hole. But what about all the people in the north that have nowhere to go? Correct. Okay, well, they get to go to Canada for 6 hours.
But here's the thing. It's like it just goes to prove that the movie was directed toward a racial push and an ethnic cleansing kind of push, because they didn't show anything from the north. You know what I mean?
Right.
That was the convenience factor of taking place. Like, why didn't they show what was going on up north? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't, because like the other movies, the storyline makes sense.
Yeah.
For the circumstances of that world, I can see why there would be people that get into politics that are not politicians but start movements to go against the purge. Right. Because the truth is, it benefits no one except the really rich.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The people getting upset with insurance companies, screwing them out, being like, oh, no, sorry, you can't afford it this year because we raised the minimum or whatever. You know, stuff like that makes sense. Actual politicians that want to make change, getting murdered by other politicians that want to keep the purge going. You know what I mean? Yeah. Background government stuff of death squads going in the middle of the night, sneaking around and making sure, you know, that certain numbers are hit or certain things happen in certain cities to maintain a kind of, you know, that kind of stuff makes sense to me. Personal revenge stories, like the guy that was going to go kill the drunk driver, you know, that killed his loved one. You know what I mean? And then ends up coming across situationally with the mother and daughter that ended up getting stuck out in the street and deciding, okay, you're going to stick with me as long as...
that movie was... Anarchy was just good. The storyline was really good.
Like the later films.
The amount of chaos. Make me appreciate the earlier.
Yeah. Election year was great.
But here's the thing about Anarchy. Why honestly it did so. I felt like it was really good.
You think it's peak?
I think that's peak because it wasn't. It's a realistic amount of chaos. It's things that could actually go down during that. Right. You know what I mean? Like, first of all, the beginning of the purge, when they find out what the grandpa did, the lady's dad did. Yes. And you're seeing that, you're like, wow, dude.
That's very dark.
It's very dark, and it's like.
But they don't show anything. It's, again, the power, the mind can conjure up anything better than you can show.
They don't show him getting killed, but implied. They show what he's doing. Right.
It's implied.
They show what they're about to do,
that I'm glad you mentioned that. That is one of the greatest written scenes in the entire franchise.
100%.
And
that's one of my favorite parts.
It's insane to think that human beings would do essentially sacrificing yourself.
I mean, the old man was dying
for the sake of your family.
Exactly.
Right?
And he was just like, "This is
It's morbid.
I'm gonna
It's
set
dark.
them up."
It's depressing.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
But you also feel like you're
What
like,
choice do they have?
man, yeah,
He
exactly.
secured their safety with that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? And those are the type of things that we don't see in the Forever Purge. It's just a bunch of guys wearing bunny hats with meat cleavers.
Also, like it makes you look at the old man and you're like, what a gangster, bro. Because he gets there in his nice suit. He goes dressed up. He sits down. He takes his little hat off.
Yeah, man.
Puts it down there, and he's ready to just take it.
It's morbid.
Legend.
It is morbid.
Legend. I mean, and all for a fat paycheck. They show you the paycheck. It was fat,
Yeah.
you know.
But it's also crazy.
But like I was saying, like then she goes, right?
Yeah.
And she goes and meets up with her coworker, the mom's coworker. They go to
this is another
apartment.
scene that I love.
Oh, they get to the apartment, and they're they're there,
Chilling,
they're dancing, they're drinking, and then her coworker, the mom's coworker, starts dancing on her brother-in-law. And then her sister comes out and finds out that they have been cheating, and in front of them just shoots her. And that part, you're just like, oh, you're like, oh my. And the mom and dad are like, oh my God, what is going on? And it just, things hit the fan so fast, so well.
But you see, again, that hits the
realistic
essence.
Chaos.
The essence of what the Purge is about.
Correct.
You know what I mean? It gives leeway for people to act on things that they never would normally.
Yeah. Oh man, it's insane. That
is,
and then they have to go and they have to get out of there. Then they run into the militia.
Right.
The militia, and then with the big semi truck, and they have a full blown minigun. Mounted on the back.
Yeah.
And they have death squads going in and clearing buildings. That's the second time they run into them.
Yes.
Oh man, just pure. It's like
what I love in that film is also the situation between the two girls that come in and mess with the old man in the convenience store. And she's like, I'm gonna come back since you're gonna give me a hard time, because she's like there messing around, just throwing stuff around.
Oh, that's right.
And funny enough, it's Bubba from Forrest Gump.
Really?
The actor, yes. I
mean, I haven't seen the movie in a while.
Yes, it's
I just
him.
know that's one of my favorites.
So he's like, I gotta lock up at a certain time because the Purge is tonight. And he like kind of like I don't remember more or less how she ends up leaving the convenience store. I think he like kicks her out or whatever. And she's just like, "Don't you worry, I'll be back." And she, after they're closed down and they're on the roof and everything, she comes back and like starts a whole mess. She comes in like literally, I think like a Lexus that's like covered in Christmas lights. It's like wrapped.
Oh yeah, the drunk chick. Yeah.
And she comes out like in a dress that's like spattered with blood.
That's right.
And she's like, "I want my candy bar, old man." You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
A whole bunch of stuff. And that has
what does he do?
Nothing. His friend that, remember, she runs the rogue ambulance where she helps people during the Purge. She runs her over in the street.
Nice.
Yeah. We love to see justice. We're okay with violence as long as it's violence against the people we don't like.
Yeah. Well,
it's a goofy concept, but yeah. Yeah, we're not for violence though.
No,
in general.
No.
This is just we're talking about the Purge.
Right. In the movie. Violence is not the answer.
Never.
Whatsoever.
So.
Anyways.
Election year. Election year is a little bit like the Purge Anarchy, except this one, they start to introduce the fact that people come to the United States to purge.
Right.
So you have murder tourism.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Which is crazy.
But then they have the whole storyline of our crusader from the Purge Anarchy now becomes the head of security. And turns out he's the only one that's not paid off to let the death squad come in and kill her, because she is proposing the bill to end the Purge.
Yeah.
And there's a whole
unaware, and so he's
ordeal.
Fighting everyone.
Yeah. It's good stuff, man. It's good stuff.
Insane.
Yeah, I really like that one.
I forgot about that.
Those two are probably, I would say the Purge Anarchy is number one, then Election Year, then The Purge, the first film. I would say then the first Purge, and then the Forever Purge, in order of like best to worst.
Yeah. Anarchy was
It was
peak,
good.
man.
It was good. It wasn't too much.
Yeah.
You know, the scene where the couple like their car runs out of gas, or like I saw their
Oh
car like dies or
yeah,
whatever
yeah.
on like the exit of the highway,
Oh, they died too.
and there's like only no, the husband dies.
She survives.
She survives and she decides that she wants to purge.
Yo, that's right. She
Yeah.
stays with them and she keeps
Yeah.
fighting. That is
With
right.
the rebels.
Yeah.
Which is crazy, you know.
Great. It's great.
Which
dude.
just goes to show again, they tap into the essence of human beings making morally gray decisions.
Yeah.
You know, and acting upon their impulses, acting upon their darkest thoughts. You know what I mean? Which is what the franchise is about.
Yeah.
I don't know what skull cowboys on top of horses are about in the Mexican border. I don't know what any of that has to do with anything. You know what I mean?
What are you talking about?
The Forever Purge.
Yeah. What about it?
It's just, it seems kind. It's, you know what it seems like? It seems like a parody of
Oh,
the Purge.
You're
Yeah,
talking about when
yeah,
they
the
get them in
like the
house.
cowboys. Yeah, it's just, it's weird.
Yeah.
It's weird. I don't think it adds anything. It's just, it sucks, dude. It sucks. I think it's a bad movie. You know?
Yeah, it wasn't good. It was so. I feel like they go through such little struggle
Really?
compared to the rest of the films, of course.
I think that everything is happening. In the other films, it happens
Too
less
efficiently.
frequent,
Exactly.
but in a larger scale.
No, I would say the opposite. Because their fights in this one were much longer. It was like the chaos was big. It only happened. There was only chaos 3 times throughout the movie, like true chaos throughout the movie, 3 times.
I'm saying as far as in the sense of like what's at stake. Like in the Forever Purge, it feels like they're constantly fighting, but like there's very little at stake.
Right.
They're just constantly moving, and no one's ever really getting hurt. Nothing's ever really happening. You know, they just are kind of like being railroaded through the movie. You know what I mean? Whereas in like Anarchy or Election Year, it's just like every step that we make is important because we're going to run into stuff. And when we run into stuff, it's not like you can just walk away from it. They have to deal with it.
Yeah.
You have to find a way around it or go through it.
Yeah, Ever After feels like it feels like you can tell, and it just feels like everything is preset. You know what I mean? Like it's a preset path. That's what it feels like. Versus Anarchy and Election Year it feels like you're with them and they're literally, they have no plan.
You know what I didn't understand about the Forever Purge? Okay, towards the end of the film, when it's like nighttime, before they come across the like, I don't even know what to call them, like the elitists, like the ethnic elitists. You know what I mean? At the end, but the NFFA is clearing the streets with tanks and everything, and they're saying, you know, show yourself and without your weapons. That's the government coming to clean up.
Where's the mosquito? Did you see it?
No, I didn't see it.
I had to kill that thing.
You have to wait until the purge. Just kidding.
Okay, I guess we'll leave that clip in. I was gonna cut it out. Okay. Anyways.
But why wouldn't they go to the NFFA? Why wouldn't they show themselves to the military and be like, help?
That's the thing. In the movie, it explains that in San Antonio, that's why they were like, we need to get out of here.
Yeah.
The army. This is why like it just doesn't make sense. That supposedly they took over the U.S. Army base.
Which would never happen.
Right. They supposedly overtook it, and that all U.S. Army troops were being they were being retreated out of Texas, which is weird. Just Texas, huh? Like out of basically all troops were being pulled from there, and to that the Mexican border and
the Canadian border
were going to be open for people until everything gets organized back.
So who are the NFFA then, if they're not the government and they're not the military?
They are the government.
Okay, so why wouldn't, if you're in danger and they're attempting to stop the purge?
They couldn't. That's the thing. They got overthrown, supposedly, in San Antonio. In San Antonio, they got overthrown, and they denied them more troops to go help.
Okay, so my point is that the tank battalion that you see rolling through the street, full decked out,
got destroyed.
What do you mean it got destroyed?
It got destroyed.
Oh, they were killed.
Yeah, don't you remember? He says, "Oh, call for. We need backup," and then they come in with like an insurgent, and it blows them to. to
Oh.
pieces with.
But why didn't they?
Somehow they have rockets.
Why didn't they move earlier to them?
What do you mean?
Because that happens towards the end of the scene.
The NFFA?
Yeah.
Because they're trying to clear the streets of everybody else. They're not trying to kill people. It's a government thing.
Right.
So they're trying to control. Well, actually, at that point, it's the police and everything. It's full blown because the purge is over technically in that part of the movie.
Yeah.
So it's like the legit military, but they're not trying to, typical, it was martial law, but they're not trying to kill them.
Right.
They're trying to have them surrender.
The whole movie seems like a mess, dude.
It is.
The whole movie's a mess.
I just feel like, they ruined it.
From start to finish. You mean to tell me that everyone was organized on some sort of like a Discord or something, and they're just like, no, we're just gonna keep doing it, so no one stop. You know what I mean? At whenever in the morning.
I think it's
ridiculous.
Yeah, it was more of like, let me tell you, that kind of that kind of ethnic cleansing thing would not play out here in Florida. That's why they didn't choose Florida to make it happen.
I just don't.
You know what I mean? It'd be chaos here if that was the case. If a purge happened here, it'd be chaotic.
14 different types of people fighting against each other because there's so many of us from different walks of life.
Exactly. We're in a big mixing pot. We're all gonna look at each other and be like, "Come on."
Yeah. All of us just versus the people that live in Miami.
Against Miami people? No.
No, but like literally.
No, bro.
No,
bro. Like literally, don't shoot me, bro.
Yeah.
No. That would be ridiculous. No, a purge. I think that's what I like about the Purge movies. It's like anarchy. Again, it's just the storyline is a realistic amount of chaos. It's not like fake. You know what I mean? There's a lot of realism to it. You know what I mean? Like this could actually happen, and it's small bursts of chaos.
Yeah.
And it's like it's a constant like roller coaster, right? So it starts with, okay, boom, they're locked up in the house, they're safe, but where's the grandpa, right? So up, and then the grandpa, then up, then the militia comes, they're busting it down, then they meet this guy, up, they get to her coworker's house, right? Up, then her sister kills her, down, and then up when they continue to go with the guy, they meet the couple and everything, and then it's down, then they get captured, then they get taken to this place, so then it's down, then it goes up again when they start taking over, then the militia comes through, the rebellion, and then back up and then down. So it's like a proper roller coaster. It's a proper amount of like, you feel like, okay, now we're kind of set, and then it goes AWOL. You know what I mean?
My issue, even when the first film came out, the most unrealistic part is, how can you know? So let's say the purge starts at like 8 p.m. And it ends at like 6 in the morning.
Right.
That's when the siren goes off. Okay. How do people differentiate between the fact that
7 to 7?
Okay, 7 to 7, 7 p.m. to 7 a.m.
Correct.
How do they know that I did not shoot you at 7:01 instead of 6:58?
I don't think that it's like automatically they're gonna know. I think it'd be like everyone in the movies have cameras around their house. You know what I mean? There's cameras everywhere for people who have businesses, people who have homes. Most people have cameras. Other than in apartment buildings, there's cameras everywhere.
Do you know how flooded the court system would be with people being like, "Oh no, it doesn't matter if the neighbor hated my brother because I know he shot my brother exactly 2 minutes after the purge ended."
We have to have proof. Otherwise, there's no proof.
But if you have at least, let's say you have a couple 100,000 cases within each major city,
right.
Do you know how congested it would make the whole trial system within the judicial courts?
Right.
That sounds like an absolute mess.
I think you're kind of screwed, though.
I think that's terrible.
I think it would just be classified.
How do we know that it ends then? How do people know it ends? What's stopping some guy that didn't wear a watch this purge and doesn't realize it's 20 past You know what I mean? Just because they heard the siren blare.
Well, yeah, there's a siren.
What if it's like a buzzer beater and I shoot you as the siren's going off? Does that count? Does it not count? Close only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades.
Right. Right.
This is all over the place. Great idea. Very few times a day.
We're talking
properly,
about depth,
pun intended.
We're talking. You're going in depth now about like every little detail.
Well, these things need to make sense, man. You know what I mean?
It can make sense in everything, but like,
you want every movie to be like the Forever Purge, where nothing makes any sense.
If I'm being honest with you, there's two ways that the first movie should have gone of what the first Purge was, which is nothing happens, it's boring, or what we have, what is the supposed last film, which is
a bloodbath.
People don't stop. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
It's the first time this is ever happening. People don't know how to go about it, so it just keeps going. It goes past. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's how I would have expected the first film to come out. So this film, as being the last, the final, it should have been the first. You know what I mean?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know if the franchise would have been a success.
I mean, how can we say the franchise is a success as is?
Good point. With that being said, let's take a break.
What's going on, guys? This is Nico here. I just wanted to take a quick break.
This is not a test. This is your emergency broadcast system announcing the commencement of the annual purge sanctioned by the U.S. government. Weapons of Class 4 and lower have been authorized for use during the purge. All other weapons are restricted. Government officials of ranking 10 have been granted immunity from the purge and shall not be harmed. Commencing at the siren, any and all crime, including murder, will be legal for 12 continuous hours. Police, fire, and emergency medical services will be unavailable until tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. when the purge concludes. Blessed be our new founding fathers and America, a nation reborn. May God be with you all.
And we're back. We might have an interruption. So, there he is.
I wonder if he's in the frame.
He's not in frame. But he's making a whole lot of noise. I think just his tail will make it into frame. There he is, munching on his toy. Anyways, back to the episode. As we've previously stated in other prior episodes, there is a dog on set, so
yes,
there will be some noises. We gotta ignore them. Anyways, that being said, he's the Universal Bros Pupper.
Indeed, he is the official mascot.
Technically, the mascot is the
the
clip,
the time clip. Yeah. Well, so I know that they've brought it before to Universal Studios
for HHN, right?
Right.
But how would you bring it back?
Like I said, I think that it works a lot better as a scare zone, a themed scare zone.
Right.
And they've done this before with IPs like Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Yeah.
So we can use IPs just for scare zones.
Yeah.
They've also done it with The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
Which is one of the most successful ones that they've done. Like I said before, I don't think as a house it's good to waste the space on something that becomes a little bit redundant really quickly.
Yeah.
Because acts of violence, which is just what the Purge is, you can't really tell a story simply like you can in a normal house.
Yeah.
Given the amount of politics that's in the Purge, you can't do that kind of storytelling in a haunted house.
Right.
It is what it is. It's not going to translate well, I feel. What you want is just the sort of ambiance and the effect of, societal chaos and sort of acts of vengeance, evil, people on people, violence.
Yeah.
So, I think a scare zone, and I would, where I would put it? I'd probably put it in the New York area.
Really?
Yes, absolutely.
I wouldn't. That's not where I was thinking.
Where would you put it?
Well, no, wait. Well, technically, there's 2 New York areas.
What do you mean?
No, there's not. What are you thinking?
I would have it starting from, so where more or less the Jimmy Fallon ride, towards the end of it, the back, where the
Right,
so where
that's
the New York Library is, that the end of that street all the way to right
San
before San
Francisco.
Francisco, so right to Louis.
No, that's not where I was thinking.
That's exactly where I would place
Okay,
it.
so and then describe how yours, because we'll give
So-
our
Okay, so I would have a mix of, so a series of actors in different sections,
okay.
right? So we're gonna have a lot of, I would like to have a police vehicle with the lights going off. You know what I mean? And
Blues
it's
Brothers?
destroyed. No,
It's
not
their
the, not,
thing.
yeah.
They
not
can
the-
do it, not destroy. Just leave it there with the light flashing and as if it's been
It has a
taken.
giant bullhorn on it. How does that fit with the theme at all? Plus, they're busy. Okay, they're on a mission from God. So I would have obviously like a messed up cop car, broken, like a fake broken
Yeah,
windows
yeah,
and
yeah.
windshield, the siren flashing, so that in the nighttime we get that sort of lighting effect.
Yeah.
You know, I love towards the end of it, like around the area where Louis is or the Starbucks is,
Okay.
the road is actually semi cut off because there's a bus parked, and the bus is like decked out with like steel plated windows, barbed wire around the top rim. We could have scare actors on the top,
Yeah.
messing around. Maybe one of them's wearing like a butcher's apron or fun stuff like that.
Yeah.
We have some chainsaw people going around, and they could be wearing like animal suits or something like that. The typical things
Yeah.
that we see in The Purge. And we would have a couple actors acting as though they're normal people in distress, that would run up and yell at you and stuff like that for like help and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I wouldn't have any sort of paramilitary death squad characters or anything like that. I would keep it just to the street concept.
Right.
Maybe have some smoke, maybe some red lights flashing. So the bus could also have its own, lights and stuff like that. And then from there, like a series of cars. I would actually decorate a lot of the storefronts to make them look like they were looted.
Okay.
To give more effect to that, and have them like either like boarded up or have like shutters put on them of like the businesses that are like protecting themselves from the purge. Maybe spray paint on them. A lot of cars are like banged up with spray paint or I think a really cool effect would be on the bus itself. So this is all movie magic. A section of it is on fire
Okay.
in the top portion, so it's away from guests, but you can see the flames from a distance. So as if like the bus is like caught on fire. Like the actual roof, the back portion of the roof. So you could have scare actors on like the top front part of the bus, on the on the ceiling of it, or maybe even the hood, messing around, and then that part is sectioned off for the actor's safety. But part of the bus looks like it's on fire, as if it's not usable anymore, but it just ended up getting parked there.
Right.
Stuff like that, That's how
Yeah.
that's how I would do it. And obviously we have like people with different types of costumes for the purge. Some of them have neon. Some of them have lighting effects on them. Stuff like that. Some of them are walking around with kind of sadistic melee weapons, all bloodied up.
Yeah.
Things of that nature. And a couple chainsaw guys never hurts.
Yeah.
That's how I would do it. Where were you gonna put it?
So I was gonna put it in the New York part, like, Mel's.
That's technically Hollywood.
It is Hollywood, but then it's Central Park.
Oh, you would have it there. So like from where they have the Toxic 20s to where they have the cat lady.
Correct.
Interesting.
I would
man.
do
Interesting.
it there, but so this is what I have in mind. I would do the dirt bike concept,
Oh, that's a good one.
and then I'd have one guy on the corner of Mel's, right, facing into the intersection. What is the intersection?
Yeah.
I'd have him sitting there on a dirt bike. I'd have another guy, probably on the opposite side, like they're just waiting, sitting there. And their job is just to turn the dirt bike on every now and then and scare people.
Yeah.
The loud noise, it creates that eeriness.
Yes.
They're standing there. They have,
It's
I would
also
do,
reminiscent of the film. where they
yeah,
used the dirt bikes.
exactly. No, but that's my point exactly. That's why it's so fitting, You don't even have to have a chain on it. Or honestly, you could have normal dirt bikes and just leave them in neutral.
Yeah.
And yeah, those guys would have like their face painted, rather than a mask, because
Right.
the mask on people who are walking around is okay, but the real menacing ones in like Anarchy are the guys that have their face painted.
Right.
So I'd do the them with their face painted, and then you have scare actors walking around, and then I would do a bus I would do the same concept. See, but you were thinking of an upright bus. I was thinking of a bus on its side.
Oh, that's interesting.
I would do it slanted in between. So basically where the cats are right now, I would do it slanted, laying down on its side. There. And
so that walkway past Central Park, at least a very thin area for the guests to walk through, though.
Exactly. And then the scare actors will have a chance to be sitting there.
The only issue with that is that what if EMS has to get to someone, and that's the fastest way there?
You can take the shortcut through Central Park. Central Park will wrap you around to the other side of that, no matter what.
What if they need to get a vehicle through?
There's still enough space.
Aren't there stairs?
No.
No, I don't think that there's space for a vehicle there.
Yes, there is. They can take it through the grass.
But there's fencing.
What kind of vehicle are you talking? What class of vehicle? Because they're not going to take they're going to take like a side by side at most,
You'd think so?
or like a golf cart if they had to. A golf cart. They either have a golf cart or
they
like
have
a
to
side
bring
by
a
side.
stretcher and everything.
A side by side.
I don't know, man.
That's like those smaller cars for like off road. They would have one of those set up to go through. You know what I mean?
I don't know, man. Usually when they have set pieces like that out in the street, they don't block traffic too much.
To get a little off topic real quick, I've never seen Universal have to deal with something like that. I wonder how they would go about it. Now that we come to think about it.
So I've met some of the staff that do medical, like they work in the medical portions. The medical portions are hidden away.
Right.
Like you have to know where they are.
Of course, yeah.
But I've seen them walking through the park. They have like their backpack and everything, and they have like a specific uniform that they wear.
Right.
And their own badge. Funny enough, I think Universal's so good at like nipping things in the bud very quickly. I've seen them handle things very fast.
But I'm wondering how would they have someone bring out a wheelchair and wheel the person? Would they? I guess if you could find videos of this guy from Epic, that would be the best way to know.
Well,
how they respond.
I heard that everyone acted appropriately and quickly, and that everything went according to procedure and protocol, and everyone did the best that they could. Yeah. I mean, I know the staff to be very caring. I've seen them like help people that like have passed out and stuff like that. Very caring, very attentive, super nice. Like I said, they're always really, really cool. I've never asked someone at Universal that works there something and they were not happy to help me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's one of the things I really feel safe at Universal, because usually when I go to Universal I don't worry about anything. Whereas like unfortunately the times that we live in, you go out anywhere, either to the mall or the movie theater, you're always preoccupied about something happening. You know what I mean? You're not always in a position where, God forbid, something were to happen. You know what I mean? You'd be prepared, or Right. But at Universal, man, first of all, security is A1.
Yeah.
You can relax there. You can breathe there. You know what I mean?
100%.
Security is always on point, especially for events like HHN.
Oh yeah.
You won't. The thing is, they're so good about it. You may not even notice them, but they're there. You know what I mean?
You'll definitely notice them. But they're
quick. I've seen, obviously we're all on social media. We see when people misbehave at the parks, and so security and or the police.
Have you seen the one of it's like a group of 4, and they're in San Francisco and they're getting kicked out of the restaurant.
Out of Lombard's?
Yes.
Or are you talking about Burger Co?
Lombard's. Right in front of Shea.
And right in front of Shea is the burger place.
The burger place.
Richter's Burger.
Correct. The one on the dock.
Yeah. Well, no,
Yeah.
Lombard's is the fancy seafood place.
So that's what I'm talking about.
No, it's a little bit. That one's a little bit. It's past Shea. Anyways, Richter Burger Co.
Correct. Yeah, they're getting kicked out. They were getting kicked out of there, and
Okay.
they start making a huge scene. They're like, "Why are you kicking us out? We had to take it." Blah, blah, blah. And it's like, brother, you're on their property. They're from New York.
Okay.
They were getting rowdy.
Okay.
I think they had some big problem. They had problem with prior staff. They kind of were just like, okay, you're fine, whatever. And then eventually of course, everything still has to get taken up to a higher power, and then that higher power determines whether those people get to stay or not.
Right.
Universal decided, hey, go ahead and get these people and escort them out of the park. And that's exactly what happened. So they went because they have the right to do so. It is what it is.
No, of course it is private property.
Exactly.
It's a place of business.
And they go and they approach them. They're like, hey, it's private property. They want you out. That's what we're just here to escort you.
Yeah.
And right about they went from there and they started making their way to the front. From there, once they turned at Transformers, went down, and by the time they made it to the front of Minion Blast and Minion Mayhem, that's when things started to hit the fan. And they just started fighting, and then the police were like, okay, we're going to grab you now. And then they started grabbing them, and the moment that the police tried to touch them, they started losing their minds because they weren't cooperating. And they had to drag them to the front of the park.
You know, of every video I've seen,
I mean, they were spitting on the cops and everything. It's like, dude, come on,
it's ridiculous.
Bro. You're getting kicked out. Just go, bro. Just leave. And then they went from just getting kicked out and just being told to leave for the day. They were getting kicked out for the day because
they're being nice.
They were on vacation for a week.
They're being
They'd
nice.
given them
they
the
could
day,
trespass you for a year,
and they took it from just a rest of the day ban because they were drunk to
That's a problem.
To full blown assault on an officer.
That's ridiculous.
And battery.
You know, of every video I've seen of security or the police or the Orlando PD having to go and deal with people at the park, they give them so many chances.
Yeah.
To do the right thing or to, handle things appropriately, calmly, talk it out. People get aggressive with them.
Yeah, of course.
It's unfair.
Because they get caught.
It's
you ever seen the lady who gets caught in islands?
Yeah,
you saw that one?
She snuck in without a ticket.
Dude, she snuck in. I wonder how she did it, though. That's my question.
I don't know how either, because they're usually very good about making sure that never happens.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing. She was caught essentially around, like, in front of Confisco.
Yes.
I could tell by the footage. Just
me too. She was just about to make it to Zeus Landing.
So,
yeah,
I think she may have kind of pushed her way through, thinking, hoping slip by, but someone caught it, and obviously, by the time it's what? It's like a good 30 to 40 second walk from there to where she was at Confisco.
It's a lot longer.
No, it's like a minute something.
Yeah, over a minute. You're saying 30 seconds.
Over a minute, but by the time someone calls it in, security makes its way there. Mm-hmm. They caught her perfectly before she ever enters the park portion.
Well, it was an officer that stopped her.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So he got called.
And she was also just,
Of course.
Just like,
bro, you're in the wrong.
And they were asking her to leave.
Yeah.
And she ended up getting arrested because she wouldn't leave.
Wrong. They were bringing her to the office where all she had to do was show proof that she had a ticket.
Right.
But she didn't have a ticket, so she started making a big fuss.
Because it's theft of service.
Correct.
You've entered in the park.
Exactly.
Admission that you're taking for free because there's no proof.
And they explained it to her. We just need to, if you prove you have a ticket, we're going to take you to an office.
They gave her every benefit of the doubt, and
then she started spitting on them too. And that's when they started dragging her around.
It's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous.
The couple that was in the Simpsons land, and they were getting into an argument they were asked also, I think, because they were being rude or something like that. They were asked to leave.
A team member, right? Something like that.
It's always people. I've never seen someone be in the right and get kicked out. It's always people that are being inconsiderate to other guests, being rude to the staff, or causing problems.
And they always give you a chance to explain yourself. It's not like just like, hey, you're being kicked out, let's go.
Absolutely.
They hear you out, and
if you're being unreasonable, they go, okay, now we can't have this.
Yeah.
No, luckily, sure. I've never encountered that kind of stuff in person.
And that's my biggest fear when we go to the parks. It's the only thing that I'm worried about is like someone just being a jerk and just trying to just start stuff, and in turn, one of us has to react, and that causes them to be like, hey, you need to go. I would be devastated.
I do everything I can
exactly. That's why I
to avoid
any type of conflict,
right? Because I love being there.
Yeah, it's like one of my biggest fears. You know what I mean? Especially when people see us, two guys of our size, it's the prison concept. You're either friends with the biggest guy or you shank them. You know what I mean? So people,
I don't know if we should be shanking people at the park.
No, that's not what I'm saying. But it's like the same concept. Like, are they gonna try and show off, like show up because we're just larger than them?
We have a certain look about us.
We're minding our own business, but someone wants to be top dog and just try. You know what I mean? That's my worst fear because like having to react, it would really suck if I had to. Obviously, I would try to avoid as much as possible. I would go to a staff member and be like, hey, look, I don't want this to happen. Please, can you just somehow fix this? I don't want to be kicked out of the park.
Yeah.
But, I would do everything in my power. It's the one time that I wouldn't just react and take care of it. It's the one place I'd be like, please, someone help me. You know what I mean?
I mean, the only time I've ever come close to there being an issue is when we were at Mardi Gras. And remember, so we collected all those beads and we gave them away to that little kid, and he was there with his family, and that's the first time that they were at Universal.
Yeah.
And we were like, oh, we'll take a picture for you guys. Mm-hmm. And these people were like, we were taking the picture and like trying to figure it out, and they just like crossed in front of you guys while you were taking the picture.
Yeah.
And I said something to them, and they almost stopped for a second, and like they yelled at me. They said a few profanities at me, and I was like, "Don't do it. Don't engage.
Really?
Just let them keep walking." Yeah, just let them keep walking.
That was with the little Asian couple with their son.
Actually,
Yes.
I think that they were from Nigeria.
Oh, them. Oh my god.
Yeah, because remember
they were super nice.
The dad was like, "Oh, thank you so much." And he was just a little teeny.
And then Mark asked them, "Where are you guys from?"
Where are you guys from? They're like, "We're from Nigeria. This is our first time here."
We were like,
and I was like,
I love doing that, but like,
making people stay at Universal.
Was the little Asian couple with their son, and
yes.
he was by our feet.
Oh my god, that kid could barely like
we
move
gave
his
him,
neck from all the beads we
went.
him.
Dan, we're going off podcast, but you know what? It's worth it. This story's worth it. Well, we'll get into it in the Mardi Gras one, but
absolutely,
we were in the parade, and of course, you, me, and Mark
catch the most.
Yeah, we're tall dudes.
We're on it. We're like,
and we were at the front, and we were catching. We caught a bunch. Our necks were full. And what we always do is we grab them, and it's great to catch them.
Yeah.
And I've kept I'll keep a couple as a memory in my pocket.
Yeah.
And then I'll grab that full stack, and we love to just give it to a kid and just make that kid's day.
Yeah.
And that this was obviously a really nice Asian couple. They barely spoke English, and they were with their little kid.
They were so nice.
I know the little kid was so sweet, and he was there, and he was by my legs.
Yeah.
I'm here. I'm like all the way up here, and he's down here.
And the kid's
holding onto my leg, trying to grab the beads.
Maybe they get like one or two on their own, or
someone,
one of the cast members will come by and give them one from the street, but they tend to not really be able to grab a lot.
The kid would turn around and he'd show his parents.
Yeah.
And dude, me and Mark and I, we grabbed our all of them, and we just put it on and this kid was like up to his neck. He couldn't even see over them. And his parents were like, thank you so much. And we were,
super wholesome.
It's great because I know that kid is never going to forget that.
Yeah,
he will never forget the time he went to Universal. He experienced the Mardi Gras parade, and two guys gave him all of the beads, and that photo.
Awesome.
And then I saw the parents take the picture. I was like, dude, that's
gonna be a good memory.
Core memory.
That's
I hope.
Fantastic.
Yeah, that was.
You
great.
See, these are the things that we like to see at Universal.
And that's the other thing that like the family, you could tell they were like standoffish to ask.
Of
and
course.
then like, dude, once you talk to us, I need to get this mosquito, man. It's annoying.
I know.
So bad.
He's right there.
Did you get it?
I think I got it.
Tell me you got it. Oh, dude, it's on the back of your hand. Oh, dude.
Oh man.
I'm gonna grab you. Anyways, So, dude. Anyways, it's just that they seemed like, dude. I mean, you see 3 guys because Mark's not short at all.
No,
he's like 6 something.
He's on the taller end like us. Yeah.
And you just see us 3 towering and
just dominating, just like Michael Jordan in the air, grabbing him.
Yeah. And then to take the photo, dude, they were so sweet. And you talk to those people, and it's crazy to see, like, you're all just there to have a good time.
Yeah.
Everyone's on vacation. Everyone's happy, and that's the best part. You know what I mean?
What I tend to do when I go to Mardi Gras is if there's kids around me, when they try to jump for it or reach for it and they don't get it, I'll try to get it and I'll hand it. I
did that so many times.
I'll do like a couple to the kids, and then one for me, and then like one or two for the kids, and then one for me of like whatever I catch. And like sometimes I'll go and like, cause I can reach onto the street with my leg and like bring in those. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's great. That's great. Yeah, I just love doing that, making those kids' days. And I remember this was the last time I rode Rip Rocket, the absolute last time.
Really?
And it was with Mark.
Okay.
And we were going. It was right after the parade. You didn't want to go because you had a headache.
Yes.
And so you went, and you were sitting out. We were gonna wait for you at the entrance. We go. Mark was like, "You want to go on it one last time?" Because he had never been on it at night. And I was like, "Oh, dude, this is a must."
Yeah, you have to.
You have to experience it. They're about to get rid of it. He's like, "Let's do it." I was like, "All right." So we go, and he had a little bit because he had given most of it away to that family. And then I had my full stack that night, and he had a little bit of his. And dude, I found a dad with his 2 kids, and they were looking around for, they had a couple, and I just went and gave them the full stack, and so did Mark. And then that was the last time we went on Rip Rocket, dude.
Nice. You see, this is what it's all about, people. It's about sharing the moment with others. Yeah. This is the wholesome segment of the pod. Making really good memories for folks that may not have the opportunity to go all the time like we do. Yeah. As pass holders, that is sort of an unspoken agreement that sometimes we take a moment to maybe make memories for other people that aren't as fortunate as us.
For sure.
They get to go consistently. Sure. Yeah. I love doing that during Mardi Gras. Or you're in line and you're listening in on a couple talking about not sure how they should go about it or blah blah blah. This and that.
Help them out.
You give them a little bit of advice to be like, actually, what you guys should do is this, and then blah blah blah, and you know what I mean.
Yeah, we've done that a lot.
Or
actually.
giving people little insider tips on being like, actually, what you should do is you should go about it this way, because it's a little more effective. But I'd, if I were you, I'd be Johnny on the spot because that thing tends to, or stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah, no, for sure.
I do that sort of thing all the time. If anyone asks, or if anyone's like, "Oh, I've never been here before," I'd be like, "Oh, well, you got to do this and you got to do that."
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's just that's the universal culture. I love it.
I agree. I think it's really, really good amongst people that are like hardcore globe heads. I think we have a really good community. Yeah. That's I think one of the best parts of being like within this pun intended sphere.
Yeah. Nice. Anyways, that being said, it's gonna wrap up this episode.
We ended on a very wholesome note, given the subject matter of what this.
We're talking about the purge.
The exact opposite.
It went to wholesome. Hey man, it is what it is. Now, because this conversation started off kind of dark. We were talking about getting kicked out of the park and stuff, but now it's gone to a wholesome part. I like that now.
No, it's good. It's good. I think it's a great way to end.
So obviously, if you're watching the episode, there was no promo. The break was no promo. It was the Purge.
Yeah, it was a reference to the film.
His idea.
There's nothing wrong. The world's not ending.
Anyways, that being said, it's going to wrap up this episode. If you guys want to follow us, the official page for said podcast is Universal Bros Unplugged. That's both TikTok and Instagram. We just hit 500 followers. If you're watching this episode, we just hit it. We're probably a little bit past that by now. But, as the days go on, dude, we're getting more and more, and we appreciate everyone that follows.
Absolutely. Same thing with our personal Instagrams. I recently also hit 500
correct.
On, the Nostalgia Incorporated, which is my personal.
Those profiles are on our Instagram and TikTok. So
absolutely.
If you guys want to follow those, go ahead.
Which you might as well, because we have a lot of really cool content coming up.
Right. So podcast content will be strictly on the podcast page, and then kind of vlog style esque clips and reels, tips and tricks, insiders will be on our personal pages for our up and coming trips. But yeah, go ahead and follow us. Please like the podcast, whether you're on YouTube or Spotify. Share it. You know, if you know somebody who maybe was talking about Universal or wanting to go or is going, please share. We really appreciate it.
Especially their tips and tricks guide.
Yeah. Go back and we have the preparations. Our Bros Guide to the Universe. We feel like it's pretty well detail oriented for people and their up and coming trips.
Absolutely.
So it'd be greatly appreciated if you guys could help and just share. As we are on our current road to 750 followers.
Absolutely.
So, that being said, catch you guys on the next episode.
See you guys.
Peace.